Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the High Connection podcast. This is our first edition in English language. I'm Carlos Lourenço, and I'm here in São Paulo. And today, or tonight for you, here is still day, we're going to talk about spirituality as an evolution process. The first question that I'm going to ask you is, do you live or you survive? Because if you live, you are a spiritual person. But if you survive, it means that you're connected to one of the principles of your nature. Because in the Mother Earth, all the species are here to live and survive. But when we talk about spirituality, we have to transcend the survive because we are a force of realization. So we must achieve a knowledge and understand that if you are a evolution process in a human body, you must understand who you are, where you come from, and where you pretend to go. Because life is a journey. It's a journey from the unconscious to the consciousness, for the unknown to I become to know something. We always going to come across to a doubt, to something that you don't know, and it's part of our journey. Because we didn't born knowing everything, because we are in an evolution process. There is a difference between the another species and the human being, because we have a soul, and the other species, they have a spirit connected to the Mother Earth. But the human beings, they got this privilege to have a soul. In other words, it means that you have the self-will. You can choose to make an evolution or you just be a species living experiences and paying your bills and trying to maybe, God knows, transcending yourself. So life is always a process of transcending from one moment to another moment. Every experience has a knowledge for you to achieve. When you catch this process, when you catch this information is going to give you security. And when you feel secure, you're going to feel confident about yourself. But I mean, you have to understand that the knowledge, it is a capacity that you have in order for you to understand who you are. Because you came here to do two things: to understand who you are and to understand yourself in a relation to the environment, to the ecosystem, to where you live. So you came here to know you. And you are a different person. Every single person is different. There is no another person exactly like you. I learned that since I was a kid. I was born with ability to see energy, with my extrasensorial perception, develop it, that made me feel really different. But by the time that I felt different, I understood my different was a privilege, wasn't something wrong with me. Normally, people, they have this necessity to be approved of for everybody. I believe that every single person has this kind of karma, because the karma, collective karma, what's karma means? Karma means action, and action cause an effect and a reaction. So karma is a Sanskrit word that means only action. So if you are a force, if you are an energy, and if you making a relationship with a relationship to people or to situations in your life, of course you're going to achieve a different perspective, different people, and you going to feel different somehow, because in one moment, of course, you're going to feel different. But that makes you unique. So if you understand that you are unique, you are uncomparable person, because you are only similar by aspect of your personality, but you are different. You're never going to find someone like you. One thing that you have to learn you want to understand how the spirituality works is to understand that you are force of realization, that you are unique and you are different, and you're going to find people with the similarity of aspect that is connect to you from the law of attraction. So everything that is in your life is something that you release from inside of you, and you vibrate that energy, and according to that law of attraction, you're going to attract people similar to you, and sometimes you don't feel they are similar to you. But you have to come to questionize yourself about the way you're judging this situation, because sometimes it seems that it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes you say, no, this person is completely the opposite of my personality. But if you attract it, sometimes it's something not you can't actually see, but it's behind the scene. It's behind somewhere that is really connected to you, to that person. For instance, if you think you are superior, for instance, you can attract people that feel inferior. So you're going to make people think they are inferior because you think you are superior. Well, if you are a very clever person and you don't accept people with no much knowledge, whatever, you're going to maybe discriminate that person and say, oh, that person has nothing to do with me, and you judge, and and as you judge is really something connected to you, to that person. So it means that you release a kind of energy that connected to everything that is part of your life. And when you start to understand that you build your reality and you create your reality and you are responsible for everything that has to do with you, because if it has to do with you, it's a construction made by you. Therefore, you can't really think you are a victim of the process, because it means that you're not understanding really that you are the creator of your reality, because we do create our reality. And when you create our reality and we become responsible for what I do, for the forces that are released from inside of me and expand toward people and situation, and I understand this is going to vibrate and going to attract situation for my life, I become a bit more aware, and I have awareness. Because awareness is when I can see clear who I am, what I'm doing here, and the effect of my action, which result this can cause to others. In the universe, as a force, if you unbalance the system, if you affect the order, you don't, in this exactly this moment, when, for instance, you say to someone, oh, that person is not nice, that person is not good, for instance, you're judging that person, and you're releasing a discrimination, and you're rejecting, and you not really loving and accepting that person. So because of that, you're releasing unbalanced energy. So it means that you are a bad person. Well, a bad person is every person that unbalance their own life or life of others. Because there is bad and there is good. This duality, it's part of our reality. But the duality, if they are in an opposition of something, it's going to create the conflict. The conflict always arise when you have one reality and another reality, and these two reality, they don't come across to a common sense. So It's my way of seeing things is a law. My way of seeing things, this is a kind of dictator. So it means that if it's not like, the way I want, the way I define things as right, everybody that doesn't feel or doesn't fit in my way of thinking, my way of feeling, my way that I establish as a reality, I'm going to reject. So it means that you don't know how to love, because when you love, we accept people from the difference, not from the similar aspect that I have. Because if you only love people by the similar of aspect that you have, you're just loving yourself. So it means that you're not loving the another person, because you're not interested to love the another person. Because when you catch something that is different, and if that thing is different, the behavior or attitude or the way that person feel or define things in life that is different from yours, and if your perspective, or if your reality, if your knowledge give you a base that where you get a kind of security, you're going to reject everything that is different from your references, because your reference make you secure. And when come a different reference that unbalance your security, you're going to reject, because you are scared to feel insecure. So it means that you're not really secure, because if you are really secure, wouldn't be unbalanced, because it's part of your, or something that you create, something that is in your structure. So when we talk about spirituality, we have to understand that we're living a process. Life, I consider like a 1 year of school. When you start this new year of school, you never know what you're going to learn. But you know that you just came from 1 year before. So you have a base, you have a knowledge that give you a base that make you feel secure. So you go to new experiences. So your only evolution process is only when you transcend to something new. Because if you live in the same experiences, are trying the same situation, you're not going to make any kind of evolution. So it means that you're living a pattern. So if you're living a pattern, it means that you probably are blocked into a kind of way of thinking or way of seeing things that is not making you expand in your life. So evolution is always connected to an expansion. When you talk about spirituality, the universe is expanding all the time. And so if you expand in your life, transcending yourself constantly, so it means that you're connected to the universe. If you are a force that balance the system, and you actually a person that is really aware of the energy that you release and the effect this energy could cause to others, so you become more responsible. It means that you become a person more with a more evolution, because you understand action and reaction, cause and effect. If you don't understand that, it means that you don't understand nothing. So every life I consider as a process. And you're born in a family not by chance, not because something only happened. No, as you're born, when you believe in spirituality, you have to believe life is, like I said, in a kind of a new year's, in a new school or a new environment. But it means that you brought something before this life that you're living. So when you understand that spirituality is not only one life, and when you end up this life probably you go to hell, or probably you go to heaven, like some religion says, because otherwise it doesn't make sense, especially if you're a person that think, né, how come the divine or God or the spirituality makes someone born in a bad situation, in another one in a previous, in a more rich, for instance, situation. Why? So it means that something is behind that sin, something is behind that process that made that person born in that kind of situation. When you, for instance, are a good student, when you go to the New Year's, you don't go to the New Year for new class, you go to live something new. But imagine that you were not a good student. So some situations in your life you didn't transcend, you got a conflict, you hated, you rejected, unbalance yourself, probably unbalance other people. So it means you have a negative karma. There is two different karmas. There is the positive karma and the negative karma. The positive karma is something that you develop from past lives that is going to make you go further. But if you have a negative karma, it means that something is going to pull you all the time. So you actually you can't expand. So you're going to live like the same experiences. So if you're living the same experience, change the scenery, but you attracted the same kind of people, the same kind of situation, the same feeling, the same sensation. It means that you are blocked into something. You didn't make a conclusion. You finish a situation, but you didn't make a conclusion. Is a difference, is a really big difference between finishing something and making a conclusion of something. When you make a conclusion, you observe the knowledge that you need to observe during that experience. But if you finish, for instance, you finish a relationship with someone, or you just abandon someone, you just decided that you're never going to see that person again, but you end up with hate or feeling bad about yourself, whatever. The sensation is when you feel like heavy, it means that you have negative karma. For instance, if you have hate, or if you have like you feel like have bad feelings, so all this, it means there is a dense energy. So it's more heavy energy. So that's going to create a negative karma. The positive karma always going to give the sensation that you feel light in front of the situation, and you feel light about your life, and you feel free, and you have like you imagine reaching things, and you motivate, and you feel happy about your life because you have a positive karma. But I mean, if you're not satisfied with your reality, it means that you're rejecting your reality because you want a different reality that you live in. So it means that you don't know how to give the value for everything that you achieve in your life. So it means that you don't know how to make a valorization. So all this kind of energy, they have to be, is energy. It's going to be in your bioenergetic system. For instance, we have seven conscience associated with seven chakras, seven vortex, as I named them, because chakra in Sanskrit means will. And I call them vortex because it's is a vortex. They're spinning around and making a movement. And there is two kind of people in this planet. There is one, I call them Surya. Surya means sun. Yeah, so people like more sun. The vortex are more like a sun. And there is another people, they are more that are called karnika. Karnika means their vortex, their chakras are more conic. So it means that that normally that kind of people, they are more worried about the future. How is going to be my future? Always thinking about the past, living the past, worrying and about the future, and they never live with satisfaction in the present moment. That kind of person, if you are like that, if you act like that, it means that you are karmical. Karnika means that you have a negative karma. If you have a negative karma, that means that you're going to have a connection with the bad astral energy. There is positive astral energy and the negative astral energy. The positive astral energy, you're going to have relation with love, happiness, and you're going to feel really good about your life, about yourself. But when you have negative astral relations with things that you didn't forgive, you didn't release from past life, for instance, so it means that everything is going to be registered in your multidimensional body, because you are a multidimensional being. Everything in the universe is energy, and you're living in a multidimensional reality. But our sense only see the third dimension reality, because the way we see, the way we feel, the brain, it's conditioned to that situation, and make a kind of limitation for you to understand and to see things in a different way. So coming back to the question why that person was born in that situation, and that other person is born in a better situation, one in bad situation, and another one in a really worse situation. So it means that you brought that kind of energy. And for instance, imagine that you live during your life a relationship with someone, and you end up hating that person, and you died, but you didn't release that energy. The probability that next life you're going to meet that person again, and sometimes you make an agreement with the universe that probably you can be born from that person. That person could be your mother, could be your father, could be your brother. For instance, if you have conflict in unification, united energies, so you're going to live in a family that your brother or sister, they hate each other, they don't respect each other. And if, for instance, if you're born in another family that the mother is very insecure and the father is not very self-confident, so that means that you don't have, you have a depth of security in your structure, and you have a depth of security in your vortex, the base vortex, and self-confidence. You're not very self-confident because your father is not very self-confident. It means that if you're born with a father not self-confident, it means that you have this gap in your evolution process of feeling secure and confident about yourself. But if you were born with a family very secure, very structured, very balanced, the brother and the sister, they don't compete to each other, they don't feel like one is better than another. So it means that it's really a family, because family is not as the word family is not like a father, mother, and brothers. That is a family, of course, that is a family. But family, in a spiritual way, is when the energy all balanced together, and they respect each other, and they help each other. They support but not make the people depend upon them, because otherwise that person is going to be in prison and is not going to make an evolution. So everything that you're living has a meaning. And when you decided to think a bit more and try to understand a bit more about the reality, and you transcend the matrix, and you start to think, why am I living that experience? Why am I attracting that person? Because everything has to do with you. So you're not a victim. There is something there. And everything was written before you born, because everything was established in your multi-dimensional structure, the bioenergetic structure within you. So do you understand that? Did you came across with this reality? So it means that we have like seven conscience that we can actually develop during our life. Each one is connected to the glands, the principal glands. All the vortex, they release energy, and the glands release hormones, and you feel happy or you feel sad. And everything depends upon the energy that you release inside of you, and that it's a choice. So everything comes from a choice that you made. All your reality today is the result of something that you choose. So it doesn't mean that just happened. No. So today you live in the consequence of a process. And there is always a cause, because you're living the effect. Always there is an action, because you're living the consequence of all the actions that you made, giving the result of your life in this present moment. So you are really the creator of your life. And when you decided that you want to understand a bit more, and you understand the spirituality has nothing to do with you going to a church and pray for God to survive you, or to take you, or to solve your problems, because there is no spirituality, because there was something that someone teach you to believe. And but that is not really the spirituality, because the spirituality is not here only for you to think about the spirituality when you're feeling ill, or with a problem, or you don't have money, or you are touched to think about spirituality only to grab something, to ask for something. So it's this miserable way of connecting to the spirituality is not the spirituality. And that is really which not connect you with the real spirituality. So that is because some people, they think some people, they think spirituality is through this way of thinking. Actually, they are not making any evolution whatsoever, because they can't make any kind of evolution, because they don't understand the reality they are made for themselves. So when you want to really understand the spirituality, you have to go to the spirituality, to ask the divine, to God, or to the spirituality, the knowledge, for you to understand what you didn't understand, to release what you blocked yourself, for you to have the consciousness of the process, because consciousness is the spirituality, because the unconscious is where you are alone and making your choice, and giving and creating your reality. And that's why I believe when you understand life as a process, the process is all the time transcending the unconscious to the consciousness, because when you're in a conscious, when you're conscious about something, so everything is going to be light and clear. There is no doubt. You're going to be very certain about things. You're going to feel secure and self-confident about things. You're not going to have a doubt, because if you have a doubt, you're going to feel alone, and you're going to disconnect it with the universe. So you disconnected with the universe every time that you have a doubt, and you feel insecure, and you feel scared, and you don't feel prepared to live the experience that you attracted to your own life, because you made a choice not to feel able to feel, to go through and to observe the information that experience is actually coming to you. And every time that you observe a kind of knowledge, that's going to create a more base to you, and that base is going to sustain yourself for you to build and grow and make this evolution. And these are in our bioenergetic body structure. Do you have the image of that, well, the seven? I know about 280 vortex. Here is only the seven principal ones. Actually, it's the karmic, the karma, the chakra karma. Seven. This one here, the red one, it is in the base of your spine. Yeah, it has to do with money, work, service, motivation. Is actually has to do with the whole structure of your body, bones, all the space that the universe offered to you. Because in the journey of spiritual evolution, after you transcend the dominion, when something is actually on control of yourself, when you are connected with the species, with only your spirit belongs to another conscience, in that case, in the planet Earth. So if you transcend that, you had the opportunity to have the soul. So the soul, it means that you have the self-will, as I said before. So, and because you have that, so you got this seven vortex here on top. All the other species, they don't have that seven one. They only have until here, because they only goes to the spirit. And this spirit, which is this one here, it's inside of your brain, the Ajna chakra, is actually connected to the Mother Earth. So when you have soul, it means that you can really connect it yourself to transcend the third dimension and go to another dimensions. And the third dimension, it's related to the three vortex here: first, second, and third dimension. The first one is a space. So you started, like every being, the first thing that you gained was a space to exist. So the space is here, and manifestation it starts from here. So you got a space. The second vortex, you're going to involve yourself. You're going to make establish a movement of yourself, and start to feel things. So emotional body, the second one, is how you feel and how your creativity works. All your creativity, it has to do with the second vortex, or the second chakra, the orange vibration. For instance, if the person has this vortex too big, it's going to be like very dramatic, like soap opera, Mexican soap opera or something like that, complaining about life. Everything is a drama, and see a bird start to cry and things like that, because this vortex is too big. Yeah, so make that person very maternal, like to help everybody, and because like to help everybody, thinks that everybody's going to love her or love him, but Of course, that actually doesn't really work that way, because it is a compensation of something. You felt a emptiness of yourself, and you want to fulfill this sensation of emptiness by doing things for people in order for them to give you a validation of your own. So if you want people to really tell who you are and to tell if you're good or not, so you are slave of others, and that is very bad. How much time do we have? 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes. Are you enjoying? How's going the actions here? So many people working. Oh, in a minute, we're going to start the high connection in Portuguese. 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. Brazilian time, 9 o'clock British time. And I'm going to have here my friend, my good friend, Wagner Borges, talking about astral. You know, we're going to talk about how can you trip in your astral body, you know, the experience outside your body. Do you know that? Wow, that's a very good one. If you understand Portuguese, keep here with me. In a minute, we're just going to start to talk about a bit more, because the astral body has to do with this, the vortex of the heart chakra, which is where the love is. But I mean, for you to get the love, you have to feel secure. You have to know how to feel yourself with the happiness in your life, and you have to know who you are, what you want to achieve, your personality, your identity, your form by the third, the solar plexus, the third chakra, which means each of on one of these body, it takes about 7 years during your life. So the first septennium, or September, yeah? It's at the first set years, it's here, 7 years, 4, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. So it takes 49 years for you to establish this energy in your structure. It's quite nice. But I mean, imagine if you in a past life, you felt insecure, no one loved me, oh, I don't think I deserve to receive things, I'm not good enough. So it means that you're going to have this energy here. And that's why you don't attract opportunities. That's why. So everything has a meaning. Nothing happens by chance. And everything is written here. This is your map. This is your life. And depends on how these are connected, it says your personality. I was born to the ability to see this energy. When people sit next to me, in front of me, I made a aura reading, and I tell which vortex is the principal vortex, the essential vortex, and how they are, if they are right, or if they are to the left or to the right, because sometimes they are more like to the right or more to the left. It means that you have more yang energy or more yin energy, because yang energy that way, and left side yin energy. So masculine, feminine, and in the middle you have the neutral zone. That is where the divine energy flows, and that makes the alignment of the vortex and the alignment of the chakras. So when you are in a neutral zone, knowing that you have the yang energy and the yin energy, and you go to situations, but you keep your balance because you know how to deal with things, you don't unbalance, and you don't exaggerate into this young energy and become like too masculine and force against force, or you dramatize too much, which makes the vortex goes to the left side. When you exaggerate, some people can make the spine can have like a movement one side to another, because it is unbalanced, because the alignment of the vortex is related to the spine. So it means that you are connected, and all the vortex are connecting you to the solar system, to a great vortex of the solar system, and through the solar system to our whole system, and to the universe. Okay, so everything is connected. The universe is an energy that connects everything, and God, as you called God, is the universe. And it's not actually outside like some religion said to you to believe, but is inside of you. It's here. Here is where God lives in you. It's in your heart, because in the heart is where you're going to have like the love energy, where you're going to see life as a extraordinary journey, as a adventure, and where you're going to see experience of an opportunity for you to get knowledge, for you to transcend the unconscious to the consciousness, for you to awake all the time, for you to become a really force of achievement with satisfaction and loving what you do, and spreading this energy, good energy to the universe. And when you do that, you connected with the universe. So spirituality is it's a path for you to achieve what you want. But for that, consciousness is actually the path. Love is the answer. And reconnect to your essence is the only way for you to make your connection, high connection to the universe. I want to show you my video right now, because I'm going to Europe. I'm going to be in Berlin and Lisbon, London, for my high connection experience seminar. Can you put for them? So you wait for me there. I'm going to teach you how to make a alignment and catch energy and balance your energy and establish a really really good energy for you and for everything that is related to your life. Okay, let's go to see.
Imagine awakening the power of the denied subconscious mind within the multidimensional bioenergetic structure of your inner self. Activate the vortex forces and realize the power of your chakras. Embark on a deeper, more revealing journey that will uncover your answers, meaning, reasons, and the purpose of your existence, because nothing happens by chance. You are indeed a multidimensional being with fantastic forces within you, ready to be awakened. For you are indeed a being of fulfillment. Picture yourself making a direct connection to the source, embracing what you consider divine, awakening the self-healing you possess. Imagine breaking free from all paradigms and limiting beliefs that hinder the process of believing that you are special. Where I will offer a well-structured, numerous practical exercises that are easy to absorb, allowing you to understand who you really are.
Hello, I'm Carlos Lorenzo, and I'm here to invite you for my High Connection Experience Seminar. It's going to be 2 days with me to learn how to connect yourself to the universe. I see you in my seminar for us together to get a really high connection experience.
So I hope you like it. My first edition in the English language here in the High Connection podcast. Berlin, 17th and 18th of February. Lisbon, 24 and 25 of February. I'm just going out. I'll be in Lisbon in 7th of February. And London in March, 2nd and 3rd of March. Okay? And then I come to São Paulo for 2 days only. Then I go to Miami. And then I'm going to have a high connection there also in Miami after Easter. And then I come back to São Paulo and I have High Connection here in São Paulo. So, see you next Sunday, 5 p.m. Local time here in Brazil, since 8 o'clock, probably London time, Lisbon time. And we're going to start in 5 minutes, the podcast High Connection in Portuguese. See you then. All the best. And remember, life is a journey and a great adventure. Just go for it with happiness and motivation, because you already achieved one really good opportunity, because you exist. Just learn it. Just go. Life is like this. Okay? Transcending all the time yourself. See you.